On this day after a violent mob broke into the U.S. Capitol, Colorado lawmakers joined the growing call to invoke the 25th Amendment and have President Trump removed from office.
Remove this president by immediately invoking the 25th Amendment. If the Vice President and the Cabinet do not act, the Congress may be prepared to move forward with impeachment.
As you heard, also calls for another impeachment.
This afternoon, we heard from the White House in a quick statement. White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany said the president and the administration condemned the violence and said those who took part should be punished. Now, a lot would have to happen for the president to be removed in his final 13 days. The vice president and a majority of the president's cabinet would have to decide to invoke the 25th Amendment, with the idea that the president is unable to discharge the powers and duties of his office. The president can object. Two-thirds of both chambers of Congress would also have to agree.
CBS 4 political specialist Sean Boyd is here now. Sean, we know Representative Joe Neguse of Colorado among those joining this call.
Yeah, how realistic does he think this is, Sean?
Well, Congressman Neguse indicated that there may be more Republican support for this behind the scenes, but so far only 2 Republicans have said publicly that they would support or at least not oppose it. Neguse told me, having been locked in the House chamber as insurrectionists, rated it doing nothing is not an option. He had been tapped to lead the floor debate for Democrats yesterday, the very debate rioters tried to stop.
We heard very loud noises, sounded like gunshots, rioters banging down the door.
As anarchists beat down the doors of the U.S. House, Congressman Joe Neguse texted his wife, "I love you." If he feared for his life then, he now fears for our country.
Democracy is fragile. It always has been. It takes hard work. It takes comity. It takes good faith of Americans to make it work. And we need that now.
Which is why he is one of 17 members of Congress to sign a letter asking Vice President Pence to invoke the 25th Amendment and remove President Trump's powers.
We obviously have a very tenuous 10 days to live through here over the course of the next week and a half. And it is clear that the current president cannot discharge his oath and will, in many respects, poses a threat. Clearly, something has to be done to make clear to the rest of the country and ultimately to the rest of the world that our constitutional republic will endure. It's time now to choose country over party, to do the right thing, to step back from the brink. Benjamin Franklin, when he exited the Constitutional Convention, he was asked, "What kind of government have you all created?" And his response was, "A republic if you can keep it." That is an admonition to each American. It's one we should take seriously.
Congressman Neguse reflected not only on what had happened, but how it had happened, saying there were serious lapses in the Capitol's security protocol. He says Congress needs to make sure it never happens again. But he also praised the actions of some Capitol police officers who he says risked their lives to protect him and others. Karen.